Good morning, world.
Good morning. I love how there's like at least a 3-second pause before we say anything before we start these videos.
Right now it's 8:30 at night.
Yeah,
It's morning somewhere.
it's gotta be. So this is part 2 of the video that we did yesterday. Yesterday we talked about how and why we came to Japan and moved here, and today we're going to talk about the visa process as well as the marriage process because there's a lot of people who've been asking about that.
Yeah, we get that a lot actually.
Yeah, we do.
People keep asking me and you and like how you living here and how you doing that. So here it is. We'll just refer to this video now instead of explaining it.
Yeah, so here is the secret sauce.
Get married. Video over.
Okay, so I mean, honestly, I'll probably end up doing most of the talking because you're like, I don't remember the process.
I don't really know, honestly. Like, Kit and her mom just did all this paperwork for me.
Yeah, and then he just came over.
It was all in
some
Japanese,
stuff.
and she's like, "Okay, sign here and here and here," and then we went to an office, and
we got married.
Then I got like this little card thing.
Okay, so
this is really more for Kit, even though it's about me.
Yeah, so it's. Let me explain how I get to keep him here. Bolo asked on the comments yesterday, which is a really important comment or question that kickstarts this. Am I a Japanese citizen? The answer is yes. I am a Japanese citizen.
Which pretty much explains all of this.
Which will pretty much explain how we got to this point. And so I want to make clear to people who want to come to Japan and work and stuff, I don't know what that process looks like, but I do have two YouTubers here in Okinawa that I'm friends with. One's Jake allegedly, and another one has another channel called Raf_OK_JP. They both work and live in Japan. So if you ask them or if you go to their channel, in fact, I believe Raf actually has a video about how he gets work visas for Japan. So if you want, I'll link their channels below. But as far as if you're looking to get married in Japan, especially to a Japanese citizen.
Yeah, I have a spouse visa.
Yeah, he has a spouse visa, so I will be able to tell you guys all about how that process started. So,
there's 4 different visas you can get.
One is a work visa.
Work visa.
Spouse visa.
Spouse visa. There's 2 more, but they're less common.
Student visa.
Oh yeah, student.
I forgot what the last one was.
The last one is like it's like other, like another reason.
Yeah. I know of some people who have stayed here on a, like they started a business here.
Yeah,
and then have stayed here.
I think that's kind of a work visa, though. That's
still the same. I'm not quite sure. So any other visa aside from what we've got, I don't really know too much, but I can explain to you guys the process of how we got ours. So the first things first is, if you watch this video up here, you'll know that Matt and I got married in Japan. We talked about getting married in the States, but the process here was so much easier and
way easier
and cheaper. So the process.
We walked into the office and they're like, "Do you want to get married?" Except they said it all in Japanese without a
weird European accent.
Anyway, that was another thing. We just signed papers and we were married.
So that was.
You can watch that video.
Yeah.
We have it all.
So the process for that was we went to our local city office, Matt and I, and we talked to them, and they said, "All right." When we told them, "Hey, we want to get married. Matt's an American citizen. I'm a Japanese citizen," and they said, "Okay. When do you want to get married?" And we're like, soon. And they were like, "Okay, do you have all the paperwork?" And they were like really ready to get us married that day if we wanted to, but we didn't have all the paperwork. Basically what I needed was like a kokuseki, which is like a residency status here in Japan. I needed proof of that. Matt needed his birth certificate.
Yeah, I needed...
Oh, no, passport.
Yeah, but I needed to get a document from the U.S. Embassy that stated, like, I wasn't married to anybody else.
You
and
had
I
no
wasn't a criminal or anything.
So,
that's the part that took a long time.
Yeah.
I had to schedule an appointment there, and it took 2 weeks or 3 weeks to just have an appointment.
Which is one of the reasons people asked why we got married on February 5th. We actually wanted to get married on January 23rd. So we went to the city office prior to that to see if we can get married on the 23rd. But the only thing that we were missing, because we had my documents, we had Matt's passport, the only thing we were missing was that thing that he needed to get from the embassy. And so we wanted to get married on the 23rd, but the embassy took 2 weeks for us to go to the U.S. embassy.
It took about 2 weeks because we went there like a week before the 23rd to see what we needed to get just to like gather everything. And because of that one document,
it delayed us.
We couldn't get it within that week. Yeah. We had to wait like 2 more weeks.
But the process itself was really easy because once Matt got the documents from the U.S. embassy and I think we got it. I had to translate it. So the city office gave me a bunch of paperwork and I just filled it out. It was just a marriage like application and I filled it out. I printed all my documents that I needed, which was only like 1 or 2. And then Matt's passport, we printed that. And then obviously the paper that we got from the U.S. embassy, which I basically was allowed to just translate for him. Like I didn't have to take it anywhere. I was just able to translate it. I filled all of that, put all that together, and then we put in the application on February 5th, and that's when they married us. It was super, super easy. Wow, you're just drinking everything.
I just wanted to see if anyone would comment on it. Like, he's just reaching everywhere to get drinks.
I wouldn't touch those. Those are old. Anyway, so yeah, it was a really, really simple process as far as, like, getting married. We just got our documents, walked in, handed it to them, and they're like, all right, you're married.
Well, this is about how I can stay, though, with the process.
Yeah, but that's, like, the first process, because just by getting a marriage license doesn't automatically guarantee Matt a place.
Oh, that's true.
In like a residency. So that's why I wanted to talk about that.
There's a separate application. Just because I'm married to a Japanese citizen doesn't mean I can stay.
No. He is married to a Japanese, but that doesn't give him residency automatically. So after that, we had to go to the immigration office. And then when we went to the immigration office, again, they gave us a bunch of paperwork to fill out. I don't remember. It wasn't even that, like, we didn't really have to gather anything. All we really needed was our marriage certificate from our city office, the proof that he got married, his passports, his documents. This is pretty much the same documents we needed to get married. And then we just had to fill out a bunch of paperwork. Now, the paperwork was much more intense than the marriage paperwork. Like, they asked us how long we'd been together, and they literally wanted dates. They wanted to know how many times Matt had visited Japan before, how many times I had visited the States. Like, they wanted dates. And
they wanted to know, like, that we've actually been together a long time, or did I just, like, meet her to get a visa? So they wanted like pictures of like us, 8 years ago.
They wanted at least 5 pictures of just us or like with our family, so that it shows like us in a relationship, I guess. It was such a whirlwind of paperwork that I don't remember exactly everything, but like getting the documents wasn't hard. It just took time.
Fun fact about the marriage too. It does roll over into America without you having to do anything. Because when we went to the Japanese embassy, or there was immigration, there was a section on the paperwork saying, like, when did you let America know that
you got married?
That you got married, to, like, make it. And then, so I scheduled an appointment for the American embassy, because, like, that paperwork said, like, you gotta well, it just asked, like, what date did you let them know? So I scheduled another appointment, another 2 weeks, and I went to the American office and, like, walked in and I was like, hey, I'm here to, just submit my paperwork for the marriage. I got married here. And they're like, oh, yeah, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I was like, are you sure? Yeah, you don't have to do anything. I'm like, yeah, I got married in Japan. I'm just letting you guys know. Yeah, no, you don't have to do anything. I'm like, okay, I guess. So there's sort of a miscommunication because the paperwork in Japan says, like, let America know. And then I went to America and they're like,
No, we don't
we
care.
don't care.
No.
So just a little, like,
side note.
It might be like an old thing or
Side
something.
note.
Yeah, because you said when your mom got married, she had to let America know.
My
or
dad
something.
had to let the America know.
Yeah, so it might be an old thing, but I guess America doesn't.
I think I remember my ex-husband had to let him know too.
So it must be a recent thing. I asked her like 5 times.
Anyways, I think the most important thing you guys want to know is the visa.
Yeah.
It was easy to obtain a spouse visa. I think the first time you can only apply for a 1 year. They recently changed the rules saying that it's really hard because it's 1, 3, 5, and then you can, I think, apply for a residency card.
Yeah, for the residency.
Like a permanent residence.
Yeah, for my residency card, the one I just got is good for 1 year. And then after that 1 year,
you can apply for a 3.
I can reapply, and that's a 3-year. And that's just basically checking if we're still married. And then after the 3-year
is 5.
It's either 5 or it could be permanent, is what I've been told. So it could be after 3 you can get a 5-year, or you can just apply straight for the permanent. And I don't know what the
process looks like.
Yeah, what that.
So
anyway.
Let me finish talking about the paperwork because we keep getting sidetracked. The paperwork itself, they wanted to know if we were employed, if we were not. Matt is not employed, and at the time I had just gotten my salaried job here. But my mom was great. My mom was nice enough to, because she owns a business here in Japan, so she was kind enough to put herself as a sponsor as well, to kind of like a financial backing sponsor, because at the time I didn't have like a steady income just yet because I had just started my job. And then obviously there were the 5 pictures, and then they really wanted to know everything. They wanted me to write down basically a paragraph of how we met and just like a story of us and how we decided to get married.
Yeah,
like it was a lot of paperwork.
It just seems like a lot of stuff that's like just making sure it's not just to get residency, like that you've actually been in a relationship for a while, and to make sure that you're financially able to support yourself, or at least somebody who is financially able to support themselves is also able to support you. Somehow you can stay here. Like, you're not going to just be homeless or something.
When I was, before we got married, I came back to Japan in October to kind of get ready for the process of Matt and I moving. And at the time, I put out on Facebook, and I was asking everybody on the Facebook group called Okinawa, and I asked, how do you guys recommend getting married in the States or Japan? Like, what is the process like? And everybody was basically telling me it's easy. Like, getting married and getting your visa is not that hard in Japan.
Yeah, overall it was fairly
especially
simple.
A marriage visa. It's just a lot of paperwork, and it's a lot of getting the documents together. Like, if you have your shit together, it's really, really smooth. Matt put in for his visa. We put in for his visa, and then we thought they said it was going to take like a month or 2, and it literally took like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it took 2 weeks.
It took 2 weeks. And it was fast. Like, I was hesitating on getting him his visa because he was leaving for the States in April.
You were kind of worrying me though, because you're like, yeah, they look into your family life and stuff, and I'm like, I got some criminals in my family. I don't think I would. I hope I get a visa.
Well, I didn't know how far or how much they look into it, but like, I think this is actually a really good point to make. Is if you start the visa process and you're currently like in the process, they're like, processing your paperwork, you cannot leave Japan as they're processing, because if you leave Japan or Japanese soil as they're processing the paperwork, it's an automatic cancellation, and you have to restart the process all over again.
That's a good note, because so when we came in January, this is when we moved here, I still didn't have like a residency card, so I wasn't sure if I was able to stay. Anyway, Came in January, and then...
Well, wait, let me say this. He came in January, and he has been on his tourist visa since January until he got his residency card.
Yeah, so while I was here on my tourist visa, we went to go apply for the residency card. And tourist visa, if you don't know, is just, at least from America, you can stay here for 3 months, 90 days. But anyway, yeah, we applied for the residency card during that time. Mm-hmm. And when you apply, they extend your visa, or they extend your tourist visa for 2 months. Mm-hmm. So...
just in case it takes them that long to process it.
Yeah, so, like, technically, if we got all the paperwork in, like, on the 90th day or something, it would have been extended for 2 more months. Mm-hmm. So...
But we were able to get married on a tourist...
We got it in 2 weeks.
We were able to get married on a tourist visa. Mm-hmm. We applied for his residency card on a tourist visa. Mm-hmm. The only thing is, if he had left to go back to the States or left the Japanese
soil... Yeah, just can't leave during the application process.
Yeah, they would have canceled it, and he would have had to restart.
Which is why they extend the visa for 2 months.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, should figure it out by then, you know? So even if your visa's about to expire, you have, like, this paperwork that says... he could actually stay here for 2 months longer because we're processing this.
Yeah. And then afterwards, once he got his residency card, he was able to get Japanese health insurance. And...
that's true. We got that right away.
And he was also... he hasn't done this yet, but that's the next step, is he will have to get his Japanese driver's license. Because if you're not a Japanese resident, you can't get health insurance. And you also can't get... a Japanese driver's license. So that's the next process, is getting your Japanese driver's license.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool though. I have health insurance here.
Yeah, we never, in 10 years that we've been together in the States, we didn't have health insurance.
It's kind of ironic. I'm a citizen of Japan and I get health insurance, and I'm not a citizen. I'm a resident in Japan and I get health insurance here, but I'm a citizen in America and I don't have health insurance.
It's kind of, it's sad.
I mean, really. I every once in a while I did, sometimes I didn't.
Well,
I don't know, it's always
job,
back and forth.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, the process isn't really that hard, and we figured it out when we got here, a lot of it. Like, we didn't really look any of this stuff up.
Yeah, if you guys haven't already figured it out for the last video, we're not like, we're very spontaneous, like, I mean, we'll plan things that
we're not like
need to be planned.
We're not completely naive and irresponsible. But...
yeah, like, I'll plan things that need planning to be necessary. But most things in life, unless it's like some... I don't know, official paperwork or something, doesn't really need to be.
I mean, this was official paperwork, but we figured it out.
Well, we did plan it.
We did.
More or less, I mean.
But we weren't, like, looking into it for a year or something. Like.
No, I mean, we just went to the city office and asked them what we need.
Yeah,
It's not like we researched it for 3 months before we...
Because there's only so much information you can get from the internet.
Yeah.
And it's also conflicting, too. So it was just so much more easier just to go to the city office and be like, all right, what do we need? How can we get this done? And they're like, this is this. And we're like, all right.
So now we're here and we're assuming everything went well.
Yeah, because he's got his residency card.
I have a little card.
But
that's what we were after.
This is a reminder to everyone that this was a process that was able to happen because I'm a Japanese citizen and he's an American citizen. If I was an American citizen, this wouldn't have been.
So, interestingly, her mom, sometimes in her, at her job, she plays AFN and the radio, and it's in English. And something came on where they were talking about how the Americans can bring their spouses they meet here to America, like the other way. And they were talking about how the American visa paperwork works. And they said, apply at least a year in advance is what they said on AFN for your spouse, because it's a very long process. I was like, man, we just went in, took 2 weeks. I'm good.
It's true, because I actually have 2 people I know who got married to, like...
And they went back to America the other way around.
Well, I have a friend here who married an American, And they actually had to live apart for a year while she stayed in Japan and he was in the States, because her visa just to move to the States just was not, it was just it's such a slow process. It took actually almost over a year. Like, she went to the States every so often to like visit and stuff, but after they got married, they were living apart for at least a year and a half until she was given the green light to move to the States. Even after they got married. And it's the same, and it's really strange because, you know, everyone says it's so hard to get residency and immigrate into Japan, but once, and I can understand that because, like, you know, it's very limited the type of visas they offer, but if you fit the qualifications of the visa, it's actually really not that hard to get a visa in Japan, from what I've noticed. So, yeah, well, this video specifically applies to marriage visas for Japan, how we ended up getting it. I know a lot of people have asked about this, how we stay here and all that, and hopefully this answers your question. You got anything else you want to add?
Nope. Are you going to cut this up?
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
So this is all that's going to be in here?
Mm-hmm.
Everything I'm saying?
Yep.
So if I say, like, butt or poop?
No, yeah, they're all in there.
They're all in there?
They're all in there.
No censoring?
No censoring.
Fuck. I'm just kidding.
It's in there.
All
right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. I know this has been one of those highly requested videos, so I'm really glad I was able to sit down with Matt and do this video for you guys. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we will be back to our regularly scheduled program starting tomorrow. Whatever that is.
What's regular on your channel?
I have no idea.
This is your life, isn't
my
it?
channel is so all over. It is. We'll be back to my regularly scheduled life starting tomorrow.
Check out my new video coming out.
Or are you plugging yourself in right now?
Yeah, when is it come out?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
What is it?
The Kurashiki Dam.
Alright, we'll check it out, you know. Go show him some love, I guess. Alright, thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.